Well, only on News 5 tonight, a new twist in the scandal that resulted in a complete overhaul at Pueblo's animal shelter.
News 5 Investigates has learned the shelter's veterinarian who was found guilty of neglecting animals will be allowed to keep his license after all. Chief investigative reporter Eric Ross has the latest developments from our newsroom.
Good evening. Earlier this year, the state suspended Dr. Joel Brubaker's veterinary license pending the outcome of a state investigation. Well, tonight that investigation is complete and we have the 11-page report. We want to warn you, some of you may find the details of what happened at the shelter disturbing. Behind closed doors, state investigators say the shelter's now former veterinarian did not properly care for animals. The state found Dr. Joel Brubaker directly responsible for 6 different violations, including failing to prescribe adequate pain medication for injured animals and failing to administer stabilizing therapy to animals in shock. State records also show Dr. Brubaker delayed repairing injuries for multiple days after animals were brought into the shelter. At the time the investigation was underway, News 5 Investigates discovered Brubaker had left the shelter, but we don't know if he voluntarily resigned or was fired. Meanwhile, Paws for Life, the group that took over the shelter back in January, relinquished its license a few months ago. The State Board of Veterinary Medicine restored Dr. Brubaker's license with restrictions. He can no longer work in any type of animal shelter, but he can provide veterinary services for an animal rescue. Always watching out for you, Pueblo. Eric Ross, News 5 Investigates.
And last month, Pueblo City Council and Pueblo County Commissioners voted to award the Humane Society of the Pikes Peak region a contract to take over animal services in Pueblo. A spokesperson for the agency says they now have animal law enforcement services up and running. They hope to resume the adoption part next month. If you'd like to read the state's finding detailing all the violations found at the Pueblo Animal Shelter, we posted the entire report for you online at KOAA.com.